Seniors, just 7 principles can help you move beyond hurt. Guard your calm and hold on to a joy no one can take. The hardest part of life after 60 isn't what happens, it's how deeply we let it cut. But there comes a sacred moment of awakening when you can finally say with certainty, "Nothing and nobody will ever hurt me the same way again." Many believe time heals all wounds. They wait, hoping the calendar will erase their pain. But time doesn't heal. Wisdom does. Boundaries do. Inner strength does. And I've seen this truth in my own life and in the lives of many I love. Hi, it's Vernon again. Today I'm going to share 7 powerful principles to rise above pain, protect your peace, and never again let anyone steal the joy that belongs to you. These aren't theories, they're battle-tested truths that have transformed lives, including mine. I've watched too many beautiful souls carry hurt like heavy stones, year after year, letting other people's words and actions steal their peace, their joy, their very sense of self. But it doesn't have to be this way. If you're ready to reclaim your power and build unshakable strength after 60, hit that like button and subscribe. Your future self will thank you for what we're about to explore. So, tell me, aren't you tired of letting others hold the power to hurt you? Well, the very first step to taking that power back is this. 1. Build unshakable self-worth. The principle that will shield you from emotional harm is building unshakable self-worth. Knowing your value comes from within, not from others' opinions or treatment of you. When you truly know your worth, insults bounce off you like rain off an umbrella. Criticism loses its sting. Rejection becomes redirection, not devastation. The truth is, self-worth isn't something handed to you by the world. It's something you claim for yourself. You don't find it in compliments or in the approval of family or even in the devotion of a partner. All of these can be taken away. What can't be taken away is the dignity you hold when you decide once and for all that your value is not negotiable. Contrast this with another woman I know, Margaret, who at 70 still seeks approval from adult children who consistently dismiss her opinions. Every family gathering becomes an emotional battlefield because she measures her worth by their acceptance. The difference between Eleanor and Margaret? Eleanor built her foundation on solid ground, her own recognition of her inherent value. Carl Jung, the renowned psychologist, understood this deeply. He wrote about the process of individuation, becoming who you truly are, independent of others' expectations. When you individuate, you stop being a victim of other people's moods, judgments, or actions. The psychological truth is this: people can only hurt you to the degree that you need their validation. When you validate yourself, their weapons become powerless. If you'd like to begin, try jotting down 5 things you appreciate about yourself that have nothing to do with others' opinions. Maybe your kindness, your resilience, or your unique way of seeing life.
Glance at this list each morning and notice how the world feels different when you carry your own approval. Which of your qualities do you think deserves more recognition? I'd love to hear in the comments below. Knowing your worth is only the beginning. The next step is learning how to guard it from those who would diminish it.
2. Set and enforce clear boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls. They're gates, with you as the gatekeeper. You decide what energy enters your life and what stays outside. My friend Robert learned this lesson the hard way. As a retired teacher, he struggled with family members who would call at all hours, dumping their problems on him, expecting him to drop everything to solve their crises. For years, he felt drained and resentful. Then he discovered the power of boundaries. He began setting specific times for these conversations, and only twice a week. The family was furious at first, but eventually respected the limits. Robert got his peace back. Research in psychology shows that people without boundaries often experience higher levels of anxiety, depression, and feelings of being overwhelmed. Why? Because they're constantly managing other people's emotions instead of their own. You have the right to protect your peace. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your energy. When you set boundaries, you're not being mean, you're being wise. The people who respect your boundaries are the ones worth keeping in your life. Those who don't respect them are showing you exactly who they are. Believe them. Start with one boundary today. Maybe it's not answering your phone during dinner. Maybe it's saying no to one request that doesn't serve you. Small steps create big transformations. Once you set boundaries, you'll notice something else. They hold much stronger when you're no longer chasing everyone's approval. 3. Release the need for external validation. This is perhaps the most liberating shift you can make. When you stop needing others to affirm your choices, your worth, your very existence, you become emotionally untouchable. I've seen this transformation countless times. People who finally give themselves permission to pursue their dreams, make their own choices, live by their own values, regardless of what family, friends, or society thinks. The relief on their faces is unmistakable. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." This isn't just a pretty quote, it's a psychological truth. Your emotional state is your responsibility, not theirs. The moment you stop needing their approval is the moment you become free. Free to make choices that align with your values. Free to be authentic. Free to live without the exhausting burden of constant performance. Studies in behavioral psychology confirm that people who rely heavily on external validation report lower life satisfaction and higher anxiety levels. Why? Because you're essentially giving strangers the remote control to your happiness. I learned this lesson in my 50s when I stopped asking everyone's opinion about every decision I made. I started trusting my own judgment, my own instincts, my own wisdom. The change was remarkable, not just in how I felt, but in how people responded to me. Confidence is magnetic. For 1 week, make decisions based solely on what feels right to you. Notice how different you feel when you trust your own judgment. Save this video so you can return to these principles whenever you need a reminder of your own power. 4. Heal old wounds instead of carrying them. Unhealed wounds are like open doors that invite the same pain over and over again. But when you heal those wounds, you close those doors forever. I saw this in my own home. My wife carried the wound of her mother's constant criticism well into her 70s. Every time someone offered even gentle feedback, she heard her mother's harsh voice all over again. She kept attracting critical people because that dynamic felt familiar, even though it hurt her deeply. Only when she began the work of healing that old wound, through therapy, self-compassion, and forgiveness, did she finally stop magnetizing those voices into her life. She no longer reacted from the old scar. She responded from a place of peace. Carl Jung wrote extensively about the importance of integrating our shadow, those hurt, rejected parts of ourselves. He believed that what we don't heal, we unconsciously recreate. This explains why people often find themselves in similar painful situations with different people. The beautiful truth is that it's never too late to heal. Your brain remains capable of change throughout your entire life. Every wound you heal makes you stronger, wiser, and more immune to similar hurts. Healing doesn't mean forgetting or excusing what happened. It means processing the pain so it no longer controls your present. It means extracting the lessons while releasing the bitterness. I spent years carrying anger from my childhood, and it colored every relationship I had. When I finally did the work to heal those wounds, I discovered a peace I never knew was possible. The same situations that once triggered me no longer had any power over me. Start where you are. What old wound needs your attention? Perhaps it's time to seek counseling, join a support group, or simply begin the conversation with yourself. As those wounds begin to heal, you'll find something remarkable shifts in how you respond to life's challenges. 5. Choose peace over constant reaction. When you master this principle, you become like a mountain, unmoved by the weather around it, strong and steady regardless of external conditions. I learned this lesson during a particularly chaotic period in my family. Everyone was choosing sides, creating drama, spreading gossip. I found myself getting pulled into every argument, every crisis, every emotional tornado. I was exhausted and miserable. Then I remembered something my grandmother used to say. You don't have to attend every fight you're invited to. That wisdom changed everything for me. I began choosing stillness over chaos, response over reaction. Research in neuroscience shows that when we constantly react to external stimuli, we flood our system with stress hormones. Over time, this damages our mental and physical health. But when we choose peaceful responses, we activate our parasympathetic nervous system, promoting healing and well-being. You don't have to absorb other people's anxiety. You don't have to fix everyone's problems or react to their moods. Peace is a choice you make moment by moment. When someone tries to pull you into their drama, you can choose stillness. When they're angry, you can choose calm. When they're chaotic, you can choose centered. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about your own well-being to maintain your equilibrium. Robert learned this when he stopped trying to solve everyone's problems and started protecting his own peace. The transformation was remarkable. The next time someone tries to upset you, pause, breathe, choose your response consciously. Watch how your peace becomes your power. Inner peace becomes far easier to hold on to when you're intentional about the company you keep. 6. Surround yourself only with uplifting people. At this stage of life, you've earned the right to be selective. You don't have time for energy vampires, toxic relationships, or people who consistently bring out the worst in you. I made this shift in my late 60s, and it changed everything. I looked honestly at my social circle and realized that many of my relationships were based on complaining, gossiping, and negativity. I gradually shifted my energy toward people who inspired me, supported my growth, and brought joy to our interactions. Maya Angelou wisely said, "When people show you who they are, believe them the first time." This principle alone can save you years of heartache. Quality relationships are characterized by mutual respect, support, encouragement, and genuine care. They should add to your life, not subtract from it. If someone consistently makes you feel worse after spending time with them, that's valuable information. Studies in social psychology confirm that our relationships directly impact our mental health, immune system, and longevity. We literally absorb the energy of those around us. Robert discovered this truth when he began distancing himself from family members who constantly criticized and demanded from him. As he spent more time with supportive friends, his entire outlook improved. He became happier, more optimistic, more energetic. List the people in your life. Next to each name, write how you typically feel after spending time with them. Energized or drained? Confident or diminished? Peaceful or stressed? Invest more time in those who lift you up. Create loving distance from those who pull you down. Share this principle with someone who needs permission to prioritize their well-being in relationships. All of these lessons build upon one another, but they rest on one final, unshakable foundation. 7. Practice self-love and spiritual resilience daily. Self-love isn't selfish. It's self-preservation. It's the foundation that makes all other principles possible. When you truly love yourself, you naturally protect your energy, set healthy boundaries, and choose peace over drama. Every morning, I begin with practices that fill my own cup first. Gratitude, meditation, affirmations of my worth. When I neglect these practices, I notice immediately. I become more reactive, more vulnerable to others' moods, more likely to give my power away. Spiritual resilience doesn't necessarily mean religious faith, though it can. It means connecting with something larger than yourself, whether that's nature, love, service, or the sacred within you. It means having practices that restore your sense of peace and purpose. Carl Jung understood that the spiritual dimension of life is essential for psychological wholeness. He wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. But you can only be who you truly are when you love who you are.
Daily practices might include meditation, prayer, journaling, walking in nature, or simply sitting quietly with your own thoughts. The key is consistency, feeding your soul the way you feed your body. Eleanor transformed her life through this principle. After her husband's betrayal, she could have become bitter and closed off. Instead, she committed to daily practices of self-love and spiritual connection. She emerged stronger, more radiant, more attractive to healthy relationships than ever before. When you practice self-love and spiritually resilience daily, you become like a tree with deep roots. Storms may come, but they cannot uproot you. Criticism may come, but it cannot define you. Pain may come, but it cannot destroy you.
We've journeyed together through 7 life-changing principles that will ensure nothing and nobody can hurt you the same way again. No one can hurt you once you've chosen strength over fear, peace over drama, and self-love over self-doubt. You hold the keys to your own emotional freedom. In the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Today, I invite you to withdraw that consent. Today, you begin living as the powerful, worthy, peaceful being you've always been. These principles aren't just ideas, they're invitations to transform your life. At 60, 70, 80, and beyond, you have the wisdom to implement them and the time to enjoy their fruits. Your healing matters. Your peace matters. You matter. Which of these 7 principles will you begin implementing today? I want to hear from you in the comments below. And if this message resonated with you, like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content on healing, growth, and finding joy at every stage of life after 60. And I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching till now. See you in the next video.